Hello, everyone. We'll let everyone have a minute to get into the group. Say hello. I'm going to cut down a piece of copy paper for my Traveler's Notebook spread for tonight because I forgot to do that. And while I do that real quick, everyone can come in, get settled. We have lots and lots of fun planned for tonight. I'm going to do a Traveler's Notebook spread because we did that last month with the paper pad and it was so good. So we're going to do that again. Hi, Luann. I'm so glad you're here tonight. So just a couple of things. I'm going to go shut the door, but we might have dog interruptions throughout tonight's live. And I'll explain to you in just a minute why that is. It's not my fault. I have acquired. Hi, Shalana, my friend Shalana. I've acquired some seriously, I don't know, noisy neighbors. They want to play really loud music and yell and scream. And as soon as it stops snowing, that's what they do. So here we are. Okay, so I think I have everything I need. I color matched some Simon Hurley Stellar inks. I have my Traveler's Notebook. I chose this Hoppy Spring Paper Collection, the layered daisy chain stencil, Happy Threads stamp set, and Stitched with Love stamp set. We're actually just going to use this little thimble, and we're going to use right here this part that says, "You've got me wrapped around your thimble." That's going to be the title of our page today. And then we have the stitches, the daisy chain, and the Happy Spring stamp. Hi, Karen. So nice to see you tonight. So if you are interested in any of the products from British Monroe that I'm going to use tonight, be sure to check if you're on YouTube, the description box. If you are on Facebook, it pops up right above the video. And then there are links to take you to each of these products that I'm going to use tonight. And I'll try to, if I change it up or grab something that's not here while we're creating, we'll do that. I thought it'd be fun to chit chat about events tonight. So I just came back from an event. It was super fun. And Brutus Monroe has an event coming up, their spring fling event. And yeah. So if you've never done an event, you can do them through Brutus Monroe in person or virtual. And I know that the spring fling event, this is super fun. It is, I can give you a sneak peek, or not a sneak peek. I can tell you that the products, all of the exclusive products for this event are going to be gnomes and butterflies. And I also know and can tell you that the event will be the event products will be completely exclusive, so you won't be able to purchase them afterwards. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Amanda. I'm just looking to see what I have here. Okay, so we have yellow, this lovely purple, clear skies, pompous, and shooting stars. So we need purple, yellow, and teal colored blending brushes. There we go. And we need some like washi. So we're going to go ahead and do, this is a 6x6 sheet of textured cardstock from my stash. I chose textured because I want this finished product to look like a little bit like fabric. I like to have that texture to it. So we might need another ink color. I'm not sure what we'll pull in, but I know that these three match the pattern papers. Okay. Maybe we'll do like a light gray, or we'll just reuse one of these for the fourth stencil. So fun part about Brutus Monroe stencils. Okay, let's look at these. There's 4. So these 2 are the 2 we want to start with. And that's going to give us all of our checkerboard. I'm going to do the checkerboard in yellow. I'm going to do both the checkerboards in yellow. So we're going to keep the, we're only going to need 3 colors. I was right when I chose. Okay. Because I'm going to do the first 2 stencils the same. In the same color, the yellow. So if you have any questions about the Spring Fling event, that's our, let's talk about that tonight. And you can leave your questions in the description box. I'm probably missing some information that I have. Maybe you'll ask a question. I'll be like, oh yes, that's right. I wanted to tell you that too. You can take the classes virtually, or you can take them in person. Traditionally, I have taken them, I've done the virtual. So, and usually I don't attend in person. I just get the products because they are exclusive. You can't buy them afterwards. And I want to get them because I love all the Brutus Monroe things, right? There's Miss Penny. Hello, Billion. How are you? So we're going to do yellow first. Whenever I'm doing a layered stencil, I do exactly what I just showed you. First, I decide what order I'm going to stencil things in. And then I always start with the lightest color, and I go light color to dark color. So we're going to do our light yellow. That's going to be our first stencil. And you can see I'm not doing a lot of pressure. We're going real light with this, because we are going to put other colors on top. And while my colors will play well together, I think, I know for a fact that I could get mud if I'm not careful, especially with that yellow and purple. So we're going to go really, really light with this yellow. Oh, Jamie asked what the date is. It's April. I want to say it's the end of April. Is it the 24th? The last weekend in April. Yes. I want to say 22nd, 24th, and it's only Saturday and Sunday. So that's an important thing to note too, because I know in years past they have had some, sometimes they would do Fridays. There's no Friday. It's just Saturday and Sunday. If Penny has a calendar nearby and can post the actual dates. And yes, Jamie asked, there we go, April 25th to 26th. And the event is available for purchase now. There is no longer a separate website, so you can find the event on the regular Brutus Monroe website. Just the same one you go to everything for. There is, I believe it's at the top, there's a little tab that says events, and you can just tap on that. And there you go. Thank you. Billion's the best. I'll say it before and I'll say it again. Billion's the best. There is the link. Straight to it. Okay. Because I'm using 3 colors, because I'm using the 2 squares in the same color, it's going to look a little different here than it would on the packaging. Because usually you would have a 4th color and those 2 would be the 4th color. You get the idea. But we're going to do it this way tonight. Because I don't want to go color matching more colors. I hope that makes sense. All right, so I'm going to do this one next, and I'm going to do the blues. This is a really easy stencil to layer, like very, very easy. This is a really easy one. You get amazing, beautiful, gorgeous results, and it's super simple to line up, which is part of the reason I chose it. What we're going to do with this stencil then, because we are working with a scrapbook page tonight, we're going to cut it up into all the little blocks and use it as an embellishment on our spread. So we're kind of starting our project today by kind of doing some DIY embellishment making, because we are doing a scrapbook page instead of scrapbook page instead of a card. So this is Clear Skies, and it is going to mix with the yellow, which is totally fine. And it's going to kind of give us that 3rd color. So I'm putting this in a little bit darker. And then it's going to give us the real bright teal color that's coming right, or blue that's coming right out of the ink. And then it's going to overlap the yellow and give us a deeper, kind of more greeny teal color, which is really good. So I have attended tons of events at Brutus Monroe. They are always a blast. Whether you go virtual or not, doesn't matter. You get loads and loads of product, lots and lots of techniques, fun things. So definitely something to grab if you're interested. There we go. So this is layer number 3 of our 4 layered stencils. So maybe you have this stencil in your stash and you're looking for a different way to use it. That's what we're doing tonight because I'm going to use it to make embellishments. So we're definitely using it in a new and different way. And that is what I like to show you guys, especially once a month when we focus on the subscription paper pad. And when we focus on that subscription paper pad, there is nothing I love more than doing a scrapbook layout or a traveler's notebook spread with you. So I think it's like my favorite live of the month usually. And I always like to pull in something different. Like last month we pulled in that Milky Way embossing powder that was kind of older. And this month we're going to do very similarly the same thing. The new paper pad with some products that maybe you even have in your stash. Okay. So we're going to do heavy, heavy, heavy purple. Heavy, 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 because remember what I said about the yellow. It's not really going to want to mix with yellow terribly. And the best way to get it to kind of mix with that yellow is to just overpower the yellow. And if we do end up, and it is quite possible that this will happen too, we could quite possibly end up with a couple flowers that are, of an unnice color. And if that occurs, which I think it's going to, pretty much guaranteed at some point it will, we're just going to toss those because we are not going to use this in that way. Boop. Nice, heavy layer of the purple. And I can already tell, like, we're not using these yellow ones. Those are not making it to the end result. But we're working with a traveler's notebook page, and I knew going in that that might be the case. But I also know that I don't need 16 of these squares. I need maybe 3. Scrap perfection. I agree. What Penny said. Penny said, yes, fun times, virtual and in person. So come join us. Yes, you want to do this event. You want to enjoy it. Generally you make cards, Amanda. That doesn't mean that you can't get the class and get all of the products and then use those products to make scrapbook pages. But the actual class content part is cards. And I will also say, though, that I, in years past, would get the kit. I've done it multiple times. I go for the virtual option so that I can get the products because the products are what I want. And then I just use the products however I want, make scrapbook pages or, anything. Because I knew when Amanda asked that question that she does not do. She would rather do scrapbook pages than cards. And I'm the same. Okay. So we're going to let this off to the side. I'm going to let it dry. And you can immediately, like you can see immediately, we're going to use these flowers here, the ones that are on the white. We're just 7 flowers. We can also use these 2 flowers. But as I suspected, these ones with the purple and the yellow, we're going to let them dry. We'll see what happens when the ink soaks in. There's a lot of ink on there that has to soak in, so it might look different. Exactly. Amanda, right? I can still learn stuff to adapt to scrapbook pages. Yes. I have learned so much from those clip classes and then adapted them to scrapbook pages. Correct. In fact, I think that is like so fun to do. I'm just going to wash my hands off quick. I think that is so fun to do. I love taking typical traditional card making techniques and stuff and applying them to my scrapbook pages because it makes those pages like unique and fun. So I'm all about that for sure. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, the next little embellishment we're going to do is we're going to take this Fish with Love stamp set. And we are going to use some gray ink. This is Shady. And we are going to stamp some thimbles. And then as we work through our pages, we're also going to use that piece for our title, the one stamp in this collection. Where did this? Where did I do? Just a minute. Slightly losing my mind. It's all good. So we're going to stamp these 5 times. We're going to have 5 stencils, stamp thimbles, 5 thimbles. I'm going to go pop this into my little tray. We're also going to use this one. You've got me wrapped around your thimble. That's going to be our little title for today's page. We're doing another one of my nieces today. So this is, I talked about this last month, how I'm really trying to finish unfinished projects, right? So this notebook that I'm working in is photos from 2019. And there are still so many empty pages that have pictures, like the picture there, the pictures I want to document right there. But I haven't created the pictures yet. So when it comes to the second live of the month, I have been trying really, really hard to grab one of these unfinished projects and do a page in it. We're also doing lots of pages and unfinished projects on my YouTube channel. I have trying to get that done. So we're only going to need 3, I think, because I'm looking at the space we have here, plus we've got more coming. And I know I want at least 3. And I don't think I want any more than that because it's either 3 or 5. Because you like odd numbers. And 5 is too many. Size-wise, because these are pretty big things. Okay. So what I love to the fact that this is one of that's hanging out in my stash that has never seen ink until tonight. Today's the first time we're putting ink on the stamp set. I want to know how many stamps you all have at home that have never seen ink. I feel so sad for the stamp sets in my stash that don't get the love very often. Okay. All right. And then we are going to fussy cut. Now, you can get SVGs for this. You can. I promise. If you're very much not a fussy cutting girl, you can get SVGs. Oh, that reminds me, something super important. The Spring Fling virtual event, the stamp sets that come in that kit have coordinating dies this time. Yes. How awesome is that? So there's a little something interesting to know. That the stamp sets that are part of the Spring Fling exclusive products, they have dies. So when you purchase and get your products, you are getting the stamps and the dies. So if you don't like to fussy cut, like me, that might set you over the edge, right? That might send you over, well, maybe I'll take this event. Wait, it includes the dies. Okay, so there's one. I like to fussy cut my images because I like to have control over the amount of a white border. I'm just not a fan of the heavy white borders. So even with the SVGs, you end up with like a pretty thick white border, just like you do with a tag, with a die. And I'm not keen on those white borders. I don't mind a little one. Like when I fussy cut, I have control over how much I'm putting on there. So there's the little, but I do feel like oftentimes those heavyweight borders are really kind of distracting. And this was easy enough that I knew I could fussy cut it during the live. It'd be just fine. And then I'm going to grab my little trimmer. And we're going to go ahead and pull off the tape off the back of this one. And we're going to cut apart our squares. So I have this lovely little line here. I can just line everything up, trim it off. And again, I only need like a couple of these. So we're just going to grab the ones that are like super cute and nice. And we don't need the ones that turned a little mud-like. These are nice trim. There we go. All right. Oh, no, we needed that one. Okay. And we're still going to end up with more than what we need. We're not going to need all of these, for sure. But we definitely have enough to embellish our Traveler's Notebook layout with. Okay. And then if you really wanted to, you could go to each of these squares and then you can fussy cut the little flowers. We're not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. It's okay. So when I work in my Traveler's Notebook, like books, I cut a piece of copy paper to 4x8. And the reason I use copy paper is because that keeps the pages from getting bulky. And while if you opened this up and did a measurement, right? These would be 4.25 from edge to edge. I like to do 4 because I like this middle piece to be open and not have anything on it. That way your book will always open and close easily. So let's look at our papers. This is the paper pad of the month. Yep. Adhesive and I, we don't get along well. So every time I open any packaging, whether it's stamps or anything, I always cut this adhesive off because no matter how careful I think I'm going to be, inevitably something sticks to that adhesive and I tear it or I rip it or something bad happens. Like always, never fails. So we definitely want this yellow to go. Here's our pictures, by the way. So we want, and we don't have a ton of room, so I think we have just the right amount. This is a small project, so we're going to use some of the yellow, some of the blue. Do love those butterflies. Do love those little bunnies too. Kind of like this better than this one. I know I showed all the papers on the live earlier, but I will go ahead and kind of go through them quick. So we are definitely going to use these two. We're going to use some of this and some of this. So I'll just grab both of each of the patterns that I want to use. So I have 2 of each of the patterns. And that should be plenty. Oh, that's a good idea too. That's a really good idea too. Penny says she cuts the top of the package off right below the seal line. She doesn't even open the sticky part. That's a really good idea. I like that idea too. Amanda says the adhesive sticks to everything you don't want it to. Exactly. It really does. It sticks to everything you don't want it to stick to. Okay. So here's what I'm imagining. I'm imagining that we do this to be almost like half and half, right? So we'll do 4 by 4 and then 4 by 4. And then the top part will be the tiny little butterflies. And then we'll take a border of this, just a border. We'll take one of these borders. And actually, the way this is printed, there'll be a real nice border. We can just cut right there. So we'll cut 2 of those and we'll put those at the join. And then we will mat our photos with this one. And then we will embellish with these. How's that sound? All in favor? Say aye. So I'm going to do 4 by 4. And then there. We're going to do 4 by 4. And then put this one here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these 2 at the 2 bottom edges right here. I'm going to glue them down on all sides except this side, because then we can just take the butterflies and slide them down in. There is a strong possibility now. It's not. We might be okay. I'm looking at the clock, and we might be running a little late. I try to keep it to an hour, but we might run a little late tonight. So if that is the case and you need to leave, it's totally fine. Just, say a quick goodbye. I understand completely. We might not, though. We might be just fine. So we're going to do around all 3 sides except for this top edge. Okay, and then for this side, I'm just going to cut the strip at 4. And then we can trim it from there onto our page. So the little girl, the baby in these pages, is now 8 years old. So that gives you a hint. When I said last month that I really do need to get started on these unfinished projects and that I need to finish them, so was not kidding. Because she's 8. Love that. Yes, she can have these pages when she graduates. That's a good one. I love it. That is actually what I did with my nieces and as my nephews and nieces graduate. I'm just taking all their little scrapbook pages and projects and collecting them all together. And that's their little gift. There are a few I can't part with. Those are mine, but okay. So if I look at this paper, see how we have these like, I don't know if you can see that. See how there's like a line. I'm gonna try to hit that like with my trimmer. And I think they overlap a little bit, so it's not gonna be perfect. But it's gonna be really close. And then we can just go ahead while we're here and mat our photos. Just a second, pardon my reach. So these photographs are somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 by 3 square. And I'm just adding a little bit of color to them. These are actually printed with a white border, but I'm gonna get rid of the white border and add my own yellow border. These were printed back when I was obsessed with getting my pictures developed as press prints. I don't know if you know what those are or not. So they're like super heavy photography paper. And they have this white border and they're always square. So you could get them like 4-inch square, 5-inch square, 3-inch square, anything. But they always have this heavy, they're made of really, like they're really, really heavy weight. They're printed on really heavyweight paper. And then they have this big white border. And I went through a phase, as you do, where that was what I wanted all my pictures to be printed as. And now I'm like, we'll just trim that white border off. We don't need that there anymore. Oh, hi, Isis. I'm so glad you're here. All right. So paper scraps off to the side. And then I'm pretty sure we have exactly what we need. The only thing we need to do is we need to stamp our title. And I think we're going to do, oh, we need our borders too, which hasn't happened. I tossed over here. So I'll go ahead and add those borders. Super cute. I'm actually going to push them down just a smidge so that they don't, so you can see them and they don't blend in with the tiny butterflies. So you can see here, like the difference. If I put them like right on that line, right, then that white on white is going to kind of be like, eh. But if you just put it down ever so slightly and you get that teeny tiny little border in between, much better look. Go. A little more. So let's do these two pictures here. And we'll do this one here. And then we're going to stamp that title right down here. And I'm going to stamp the title next. Also, Isis, it's totally fine that you're late because I'm going to be... I might possibly be a little bit late tonight. Just a little bit. Not too bad. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so right there. Our title's going to fit across there perfectly. So I'm going to stamp my title with the same gray ink that I used for the thimbles. Oh, thank you. That's my niece, and I am working my way through some projects that I haven't finished. And so this project is pictures from 2019, and that teeny tiny baby is so cute in these pictures. She's 8 right now. She's 8 now. She's also my little best friend. I get her, she's with me a couple times a week, and I am the awesome aunt. I introduced her to McFlurries. Her mother loves me for that. Not. So a couple times a month, I get her almost every Wednesday, no matter what. Um, and then if I have her with me on Wednesday, we go to McDonald's, for sure, because I'm that kind of aunt. And then my sister's like, no, every time I take her to McDonald's, she needs a McFlurry because that's what Aunt Sarah got her. You know what? That's right. She needs a McFlurry. I agree. Oh. And now you understand why this little saying, "You've got me wrapped around your thimble," is the perfect little title for our spread. Okay, so now we're going to pull all of this together. So we definitely need and see how nice and big these thimbles are going to be perfect to tuck in and around. And then there's a little bit of space over here. I can tuck these little flowers in. We'll pop this one this way. Pop these in here. And I'm not putting those little flowers straight on. I think I'm putting them at little different angles, having them tuck out into little different spaces. And I don't think we need anything over there. I think that that's pretty good. Oh, what did you say? Isa said, reminds me of my nephew when a toddler, he'd love to have fries just to dip into the ketchup and lick it off the fry. Love that. I love that. Okay, so that reminded me of my own little quirky situation. So my favorite way to eat fries is to dip them into a milkshake. French fries and a milkshake. Delicious. I know that it sounds odd, but it's such a cool, sweet, salty combo. Gotta have it. It's the best thing ever. If you've never gotten French fries and a vanilla milkshake from McDonald's and dip the French fries into the milkshake, you're missing out on the best thing ever. And I always loved a good ice cream place that had French fries because same thing, French fries and vanilla ice cream. So good. I know, strangest thing you've ever heard of, but it's so good. Okay. So I did end up putting just those two little flowers up there. Oh, yay. It's not just me. Yay! I'm not the only person that thinks that French fries make the perfect accompaniment to ice cream. Yeah, I'm not a chocolate girl. I don't mind real like chocolate I'm okay with, but I don't really like chocolate flavored things. Like I much prefer vanilla. And if I have chocolate, I tend, and I know we've talked about this on my lives before, I want that chocolate to be mixed with peppermint. I want mint and chocolate because that's the best thing ever. Next to French fries and ice cream and milkshakes. Oh, thank you so much, Amanda. Amanda's like, let's get off the weird combos of French fries and ice cream. Let's talk about your page. Page is fabulous. It is super cute, huh? It turned out real good. So let me just trim this off so I can put them together. Even though there is a gap when you put them into the book, I still like things to match up. Like I want that border to match up, even though there's a gap. And I want my photos here like to line up. So okay. And then we can just put that straight into our album for tonight. And then I'll pull it up to the top so you can see it. So when I put this into my album, I line it up on this edge. Because I want this bit to be open. Line it up on that edge right there. And if there's a little bit of like overhang from the page of the notebook, I don't care about that at all, in the least. Okay, so there is our project for tonight. So cute. I feel like this little, now that I'm looking at it on the screen, I'm going to make a little adjustment here. I'm just going to pull this little thimble out a little more so that you can see it a little bit better, get a better idea of what it is. It doesn't look kind of lost in there. So there's our finished page. And then I have some space here to put a little bit of journaling and a date stamp. Or I could actually put the date stamp down here. And I don't have a lot to say. This is literally just my niece is so stinking cute and she smiles at me all the time and she must be photographed picture. So, you know, as you do when they're babies. Oh, Isa said, question. I missed the beginning. Is this an ongoing album you are adding to? Okay, so I have in my craft room a bunch of Traveler's Notebook albums like this. And what happened was like I would do a couple pages, like I did this page. And then, or I would do like this page. Like I have a couple pages done. The other pages have the photographs here and ready to go, but I never did the pages. And then I would get distracted by something bright and shiny and new, like a new album that I wanted to start or a new, like anything. And I ended up with all these cute little Traveler's Notebook albums that have the documentation, have the pictures, but don't have the pages finished. So for 2026, I'm not starting any new projects. So I'm not starting a new memory planner for this year. I'm not doing any mini albums this year, nothing. I'm going back and I'm finishing these album. So like this one is from the summer of 2019. And basically what it is it's just photographs that didn't have a big story. They were just cute pictures that I really wanted to create with. Or they have a story, but maybe the picture isn't great. Or like in this case, like there's just one square picture. I'm not going to make a 12 by 12 album out of one square picture. But there's a lot to write about this. So this page will have one picture, but then it'll have like a lot of journaling. Right? So this is from the summer of 2019 and it is started, or like this one, like I don't want to make a 12 by 12 page about a book that I read, but I really loved this book and I want to remember it because I might want to read it again. So let's put it in a traveler's notebook. Does that make sense? So I have this one, which is this summer. And then I also have ones from COVID. So I kept all these traveler's notebooks with all of the documentation and all of the screenshots and all of the stuff from the pandemic. And I monthly, it goes from January to December. I think it's like 3 books. And I have gaps in that I need to finish. So those are the books that I'm trying to come back to and finish this year because my kids are now 19 and 25. Our lives are kind of like there's no big milestones on the horizon. We're kind of living our kind of just quiet, low-key life. So I was like, this is the perfect time to go back and take care of these older books or albums that need finished. So okay, I have to catch up with the comments and then we're done. Speaking of fries and ketchup, in summer we get fried haddock and fries and eat outside at a picnic table at the restaurant. They give you those little ketchup packets. I bring my own ketchup bottle. That's so funny. Also, fried haddock sounds amazing. Issa says that her wife loves ketchup so much that she brought a t-shirt for her that says, I put ketchup on my ketchup. It's our Todia. I love that. That's hilarious. I can take ketchup or leave it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. It's just kind of like, it's ketchup. Okay. Anissa said that does answer her question. So yay. That's where we are going to leave tonight. If you're interested in any of the products I played with, they are always linked in the description box below. You are welcome to grab them. Penny shared a link for Spring Fling. Don't forget to grab your ticket. I know for a fact that Isis is going. Yeah, so definitely go ahead and grab a spot because they generally sell out. There's only a couple spots left, I think. Most of them are virtual. So Penny will be there too. Yay. You guys will have so much fun. All right, everyone. I will talk to you later. Bye.